Who am I here with?
Scott Freeman. I was born in Fall River Mills, California, Northern California. Raised in Mount Shasta, California. This will be my 12th year homeless in 4 different counties.
Thank you for shopping 7-Eleven. For your safety, the parking lot is being video recorded.
Okay.
My life totally changed when I came here.
So let's start off with, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, you know. Every day out of the hospital is a good day, you know. When I came down here, I didn't have any major health issues. Within a month and a half of being a month of being here, I had my truck stolen, with everything I owned in it. I got diabetes. I didn't know I had it. I walked across this town for 2.5 months from Oildale all the way to Wheat Patch Highway looking for my truck, and I finally found it after 2.5 months of walking. I walked holes through the ball of my feet. I had maggots and gangrene in both feet. I got valley fever. My girlfriend left me for my best friend and moved to Oklahoma and got married.
Damn.
So my life just turned on its head when I moved here. I'd only planned to be here for like 3 weeks at the most.
Okay.
And then I was gonna take my girl and go find her own place, you know, her own little niche, you know, but she's still here. I still see us getting back together eventually.
Gotcha.
So I try and keep optimistic, and that's all I can do out here.
Yeah. So Scott, man, it seems like you've been through a lot, you know, freaking midlife crisis, real life thing.
52 years old.
Man. Hey, how you doing mentally and emotionally?
Well, I don't let people see that close. If it wasn't for my dog, I'd probably be 5150. I started noticing myself when I lived on Baker. Started talking to myself a little too much. When you start answering yourself, you got a problem. So Bella is my dog. She's a Brindle Pit, a Pit Australian Shepherd. So she's a Chattahoochee Brindle. Very unique, high energetic dog, smart as hell. And if it wasn't for her, like I said, I'd be crazy, you know. And hopefully we'll find my niche again, you know. I don't know. I'm waiting for him to decide if I'm going to be permanently disabled. They keep cutting off toes left and right, and it's like every 2 months they cut off another toe, so it's like, my toes are shattered. My podiatrist said I have very unique feet. I said, why is that? He's like, because your toes are totally shattered. They're like little gummy bears that don't do anything.
Man, I salute you, Scott, man. You're a soldier in real life.
Try. It's hard to keep your head up.
So Scott, are you currently on, you know, any substances?
I have like 1 to 2 beers a day, Old English, 24 ounce. Compared to what I used to drink, that's nothing. You know, I used to drink like 7 to 8 Four Locos a day, on top of vodka, and 4 to 5 packs of cigarettes a day. So now I treat myself every so often to a green pom-pom pack to smoke through a whole day, you know. But you gotta do that every so often. Treat yourself, man.
All right, Scott. All right, let's take it back, man. Growing up as a kid, how was your childhood?
I was the oldest. 2 sisters below me. So I always felt like the stork brought me to the wrong house. Because when I go to my friends' houses, their parents said, "Oh, you're such a great kid," you know, and then I was always in trouble at home, you know. That was my middle name, Trouble. Would get in trouble just because I was so mad, you know, mad at everyone and for not having a normal life, you know, not having my dad there and not being able to play like most kids because I gotta do dishes or I gotta, you know, do the yard. Or, you know, my mom's a beautician, so it's a lot of haircuts to do feed 3 kids, especially when you got one of them that eats like me. You know, in high school I ate 3.5 extra large thick crust round table pizzas by myself. So I was the family's garbage disposal. Thank you. I was the family garbage disposal forever. I still am.
You know, so
I haven't talked to my family for 3 years.
3 years, man. And then I know earlier you stated how you were going on your 12th year of homelessness.
Yes.
12 years of homelessness, that's a long time. Within them 12 years of homelessness, like, have you attempted to get off the streets and better your situation?
Well, I've come closer here than I have anywhere else. Like I said, I grew up in Mount Shasta, so after 20 years of being in Las Vegas, I came back home with my girl, and small town like that in Shasta, we got 3 stoplights.
Give it just a second. Okay. Man, where were we?
Let's see. We were talking about my dog saving me, keeping me from going crazy.
Yeah.
Flood industries.
We talk about childhood.
Oh yeah,
the upbringing. I think we went over like your more younger teenager years. What about like the mid-teens, 20, 25, if you can remember?
Well, I played all the sports I could play in school, except for football. My mom wouldn't let me play football because she thought that I was gonna hurt my legs. Which I probably might have, but when I'm hurting football players without pads, I think I would have been a good football player. But I didn't have good grades. I'm dyslexic, so I went to school just for sports pretty much. And then when I found out that I wasn't going to go to Division I school, I started smoking. But even when I started smoking, I still beat out a 7'2" person for the starting position in junior college. I ended up having to leave junior college because the state didn't pay for my room and board like they said they were going to. So after my major was athletic training, if I couldn't play for the Lakers, I wanted to fix them.
I got you, Scott.
I had to leave college.
Would you say that
Thank you for
substance abuse, would you or call it just making the wrong choices that led you where you are today?
Yeah. I didn't really have a choice in the matter as far as drinking. My stepdad felt it necessary that every Saturday or Sunday when you watch football that it was my job to bring him beer. So I bring him beer, he'd make me open it and then make me take a drink off every can that I brought him. So I was getting drunk in kindergarten because that was his protocol. Didn't really have it. Didn't have a choice, you know. Being that said, I did at one point when I was in Vegas after having my own company, doing house repossessions for Keller Williams, Brinkus, and Caldwell Banker, and all them. Hit a point where I was drinking, like I said, 7 to 8 or 4 locals a day. I'm still working, doing estimates until 3, 4 in the morning, 7 days a week. You know, I was drinking and I was my own boss. I still was working, you know, so.
Gotcha, Scott.
I didn't let it stop me. I wasn't totally so drunk that I couldn't still perform my work. And that I ended up buying a 4-bedroom, 2-car garage house that I ended up leaving to my girlfriend at the time. About 80% of my belongings and tools and everything I left there. When I moved back to Mount Shasta, that started my homelessness. Before, everywhere I worked, I got free room and board and utilities with my work, you know. So when I went back home, because it's only 3 stoplights in the whole town, everybody knows everybody, and it's really hard to get work, continuous work. So that's what started my homelessness, me going back with my girl there, and not getting along with my mom's rules of like high school at the age I was.
Okay.
You know, under her roof.
Yep.
I still was butting heads to the point where I'd rather be living out in the woods than dealing with her rules. And now after being out here for 12 years, it's hard for me to be living inside building, you know, because I'm so used to being outside. You know, I lived on the Owens River for 4 years. One morning I woke up, I had my foot frozen in my floorboard of my truck. I didn't feel it because I have neuropathy in my feet. Before I was diagnosed with diabetes. I didn't have diabetes at that point, but now I find it hard to be inside. Even though it's hot, I'd rather be outside. Here's not like Mount Shasta where you got 4 or 5 feet of snow in the winter, you know. Still walk around in shorts and a shirt, you know, in the wintertime here. So it's not really like the winter up there. Nothing really pushing me back inside. I don't miss really watching TV. I miss, you know, watching the Lakers play and stuff, you know, but.
Damn, Scott. You know, I know you talked about how you want to get your own place with your new girlfriend.
No, my old girl back.
Excuse me, sir.
I still have dreams that we're gonna get back together. And for the most part, the majority of my dreams that I've dreamt have come true. So
I got you. So Scott, would you say that you, like, as of now, you know, you've had a full life, you know, you've gotten like maybe, you know, what you want out of it, maybe things that you didn't want out of it?
Hey, yeah, I've come to think of Bakersfield as God's testing ground. You know? You either make it or you don't.
Yeah, Bakersfield most definitely one of those crab in a barrel places.
Well, it's a conglomeration of people that, for one reason or another, have been brought here. You know, I going after high school. I go through Bakersfield, going to Vegas, or mainly going to Vegas. Never did stop here just to get gas, maybe. But when my girl's mom lived down here, she came down to live with her mom for a little bit while I was finishing up my probation in Bishop. So that's where I came from before here was Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that moving to Bishop probably the worst decision of my life that I made. That's what caused me and my girl to split up. Still to this day the love of my life, and I regret a lot of things that caused me to have lost her. Hopefully temporarily get a chance to show her that I really still love her.
Yeah. Already, Scott. What's a piece of advice that you can give to me? You know, give to the world.
Think of the broader spectrum of life, and don't let the everyday grind bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta find the times in the week or whatever that you can get your head together and keep going in a positive direction. Mine is fishing. If I get to where I can't deal with all of people's crap around me, I go fishing and just listen to the water, watch the water, catch some fish, drink a little bit of beer, smoke a little weed, and get my head on straight. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's always been my way of coping is fishing, because it's the only way I could get away from my sisters growing up.
Alrighty. Hey, thank you, Scott, for this interview. I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. Thank you for asking.
Yes, sir.